Shall we?
I'm ready.
Okay. So Fontainebleau, you guys went to Vegas. You did a photo and video contract for Fontainebleau. It was beautiful. Can you tell me about the project and how it came to be?
Man, probably got to give credit to Alex on this one. It was just a client that, as far as I know,
Wait, let's pause. Your earbuds are like sticking out of your head.
can I just have the rest of the interview like this?
You can if you want. Okay.
Okay, Fontainebleau, cool client. Lots coming down the pipe with them when we first heard about them coming and to Vegas. Yeah, I heard about it through Alex, our the creative director, who, I mean, I feel like that would just be a brand that really works with him. And I mean, like, it fits his personality. And so it's just like this right-sized fit where he can ideate and come up with concepts. And instead of having to put on different lenses to see the brand, he could kind of just own it. It's just, it works that way.
What was the ask? What did they need from you guys?
Yeah, they needed some new photo representation. Of course, I was happy to oblige. I think the concept of what they were needing and what they were wanting was alluring. Who doesn't want to take pictures for a hotel on the strip, man? It was cool. So,
What was the creative? How was that represented visually through your photos and through the video?
oh man, this is Alex. Don't hate me for misinterpreting what you thought about with this, but there's a couple different layers in it. There's a through line that involves bow ties, which is pretty integral to their history.
I mean, you're inundated with bow ties everywhere to the point where it's so unbelievably thoughtful that you're forced to acknowledge the fact that they're everywhere, like butterflies almost, which is of course their branding. And so when we wanted to create employer branding for them, we decided that we had to work in the bow tie everywhere, so that when you were presenting the employees, we were presenting them in the same way that they experienced the resort and the guests experienced the resort, which was inundated by bow ties everywhere.
But that through line is just laced with different layers of luxury and elegance that have become synonymous with Fontainebleau. So different touch points and different moments where you would experience that differing service. There's this bow tie that carries you through. You see it in different representations and in different mediums, and it's layered with these different touch points that are very real world and accessible that you would come into contact with, that are just constant reminders of how high level, how thought through and intentional, how I think intentional is just the right word here. They are throughout all of the touch points that you go through when you encounter their service. So whether that's a bartender in a very moody looking bar, or a lifeguard in a very beautiful pool, or hands-on butler service in one of the suites. I think the point was to show you these ultra luxurious differing touch points alongside of a motif that carries you through each scene in different mediums and helps you land on the concept that they really want you to land on.
You know, bartender got a ice cube that was bow tie, and that was really great because it was within budget. Ice cubes are easy to do with ice cube molds. We know that the pool is a focus, and so we had two ideas for the pool. We could have a bow tie forming out of water, which is kind of like a cool surrealistic kitschy experience that wouldn't actually happen, but it's fun and cute. Or we could have a bow tie on the lifeguard buoy worked in there, because they all carry around those. So it'd be a cool stamp on the buoy to put a bow tie there. They wanted to advertise for butlers. We figured, hey, let's work it into the food. So we did bow tie croissants, and we did steam bow tie coming out of the coffee pour. They do drink presentations and they make that special. So it's like, how do we work in their special element to this special thing that the butlers do? And that kind of bred the steam turning into a mystical bow tie on the coffee pour.
So that was really emulated through the video and through a lot of what Alex did. And so I really just was tasked with mirroring that direction in still imagery instead of with moving ones.
And you guys had custom bow ties made in all these different forms, right?
Oh man, yeah. I was actually with Dena, our art director, on another shoot this last week, and we were talking about how It was intricate, and there's a lot of things going on. She was cutting bow ties in her hotel room right up until the shoot, and making sure that the croissants were good, and brought stuff from New York. And like, there just were so many moving parts and components to make sure that that motif was carried all the way through.
I don't know how much time we had, maybe like a week. We shipped like $700 worth of foam across the country in like a day. It then went to Alex's dad, who cut the foam using some machine that I've never heard of.
It was an industrial bandsaw. So we shipped, as Dena said, the foam from the supplier, right, to my dad. She designed the schematic, drawn to scale with measurements and diagrams. Those were passed over to him. He got on a call with us and followed those diagrams, cut multiple versions of a bow tie out of what the material is made of for lifeguard buoys, and then shipped it to Dena.
I had to kind of recut it actually because it was a little bit too big. So we trimmed it down a little bit. Then I spray painted it, attached like the handles that go on, and then put it on a plane to Las Vegas.
She was like calling me at like fucking 1 a.m. I'm like, I don't care, just make it work, make it red. And is it gonna be shiny? What do you want
You're
me
my
to do?
emotional buoy.
Yeah. So what do you want me to do?
The second biggest challenge was the croissants.
Talk about how you did that.
Threatened the baker down the street from my apartment. So I was looking for people in Las Vegas. They were all saying, no, there's not enough time because you need a custom mold. I reached out to a bakery, it's Olenstein. The lead baker there was just being super generous and was like up for the challenge. He was going to try to do it without the mold, and he succeeded. Also had to spray those, secure them in bubble wrap, and ship them to Vegas as well. And they ended up getting lost for a couple hours. Alex chased down a FedEx truck by foot.
I don't know if you can read that. There's the FedEx truck, and that's me. And I said, I fucking got it. I chased this motherfucker down. Get fucked.
Tell me about the shoot. How did it go on the day of?
Was a lot. There's a lot going on. As you can imagine, we're filming a commercial spot while we're doing very public facing imagery.
We had 3 days worth of production to cram into a 12-hour day on a Sunday, where we were shooting video and still photography. But we pulled it off, and it was pretty incredible because even though there were so many moving parts, and like we were chasing FedEx trucks, and you know, we had some other challenges on set. We made it a good time.
Skill Scout's a little bit of a well-oiled machine in this regard. We worked over the last year or two to kind of build this cohesive system that can do both. And so the day of, there were many things to do, way more than what would happen just in a conventional studio or in a regular day-to-day to me. And that was by design. But we had blocks for different departments, and I think I ended up walking 9 miles that day. Just like lots of movement in different areas and doing different things in different spaces. Some stuff worked and some stuff just fell flat. So it was interesting to see what worked and what didn't.
So the shoot wraps. You guys are all done.
Okay.
Where do you go next? What happens? Do you guys go out? What do you do?
We got a poppy steak. It was alive in there, but it was so funny to watch other people. So they have this thing where you buy a certain cut of meat that's definitely at the top of the range of what they offer, but they bring it out to you in a suitcase, and they open it up, and there's dry ice in there, so it's smoking, and there's like 10 people that surround the table. So you have this small table with 10 people around it, all shining flashlights like there's strobe lights there, and this briefcase with smoke popping up. So you would think if you're spending $1,000 on a steak that if it comes out, you're gonna be like, wow, this is crazy. Look at it. Look at all my money's buying me. But we had a couple experiences where the people just were not impressed and didn't care at all. Like they pull up and there's everyone around them is dancing and doing this stuff, and they just look totally miserable. Actually, let me see if I can mimic this. But it totally there. It's totally how they were perceived. Guys, it's okay to be happy that you spent $2,000 on a steak.
I agree with that. If we've learned anything from this shoot, it's that.
He said it's okay to be happy.
Would you say that's the biggest takeaway from the Fontainebleau shoot?
And it's okay to be happy? You know what? Why not? Let's make that the theme. That'll be agreed. That's the one.